Okay, you guys, who the F did I marry? Part 1. Okay, I think we need to start, with context, okay? And it's so hard because there's so much to say. I don't even know exactly how to go about this, so I'm hoping to, be as eloquent and as clear as I can. Well, also, we might not be on good terms. In fact, we're on terrible terms, but I am going to try and respect privacy to some degree. And I'm only going to talk about things that I know for a fact. There's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of, I'm not entirely certain everything that went into this entire experience. So I'm going to talk on facts and facts only when that is truly just scratching the surface on what happened. But yeah, there's so much to this. I'm going to try and tell it. And I want to be clear that my number one goal and my number one hope from talking about my story and my experience is I want to be hopefully a voice for girls who find themselves in similar situations. I personally didn't grow up around family members or anyone that had experienced divorce, and I'm so lucky and so blessed. My parents are still together, my grandparents are still together, and when I found myself faced with a divorce, I was so shocked and I didn't know what to do. And when I found myself in a marriage that was unsafe and abusive, I just genuinely didn't know what to do. And so my hope is that if you find yourself in a similar situation, whether it be someone you're talking to, someone you're dating, someone you're married to, I just want you to know there's resources, there's people who have been through what you're going through, and you're gonna be okay. And so yes, it's fun to talk about the drama, it's fun to talk about the tea, but I think at its core it's really important to talk about healthy habits within relationships. I've always wanted my story hopefully to be such a pattern, maybe not pattern, but such an example of okay, maybe we could have avoided this, maybe not, but let's all learn what a healthy relationship should look like. Let's learn the steps that should be taken as you're entering a relationship, and then let's hopefully find ourselves in happy, healthy relationships. And that's not to say it's your fault if you're in an unhealthy relationship. That's just to say I hope to be a voice to be hey, this is what it should look like. And anyway, so now I'm rambling, but let's get into it. Let's talk about my divorce. And I think the best place to start is how we met. So I met my ex in high school. He asked me to homecoming our senior year of high school. And I was actually sad when he asked me. I cried because I wanted a different boy. I wanted a boy on the football team to ask me to homecoming. And my ex asked me first. But that was the start of it, and we genuinely just clicked, and I was oh my gosh, he's so sweet. And he was the sweet boy. Everyone thought he was so cute and so sweet. He was a little bit shy, but he was just such a good guy. He knew that high chews were my favorite, so he'd pick out the mango ones and bring me just mango high chews, and he'd write me notes, and he'd bring me flowers, and he'd come over to my house and do the dishes, and my family loved him. So we were 17 when we started dating, and we dated our entire senior year of high school. And honestly, it was so great, and I adored him, and it was so fun. We did everything together. We were attached at the hip, and all my friends loved him, and truly nothing, there's nothing to report on. It was honestly so great, and I loved that entire aspect of our relationship. Okay, I feel this one's already getting so long, so I'm going to try and kind of wrap up this part of the relationship, and then hopefully I'll do another part kind of getting into more of getting married, engaged, and then more of the drama. But when we were in high school, there was really, and I guess this wasn't in high school, so we graduated. We're from a very, very religious community. We're members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and we knew that he was going to go serve an LDS mission. He postponed that, and he waited a little while. He waited 6 months, and I went to college. I moved in with my best friends. He stayed in our hometown, which was about 40 minutes away, and he would come see me almost every single day. I knew he was going to go on a mission, so it was kind of it was a little more casual at this point, knowing that we'd probably be spending 2 years apart. And that's very normal in our culture and in where we're from. And a lot of people on the internet see things about our faith and about our religion. So you've probably seen the missionary girlfriends welcoming their boyfriends home. That was us. Spoiler. But yeah, so when I was in college, the only red flag, and the very first red flag that I think I saw in that relationship was that my freshman year, he and I think we got in a fight one night, and I don't remember what it was about, and he started hitting up my roommate. Like, one of my best friends, it was like 3 a.m, and he would text her and be like, hi. And we ended up breaking up over that because I said, we're not doing that. You are not reaching out to my friend. And to be fair, like, I don't think she knew, and she's one of my great friends to this day, and she was very appropriate. She handled it very well. But it was him reaching out to her, him being like, oh, we're just friends. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're texting my friend, my roommate, who's in the room over at 3 a.m., trying to just build a friendship when we're not talking and we're in a fight, bad juju. And I'm like, we're 18 at this point, we're just kids, you're leaving on a mission, like, maybe this isn't the best thing. But that was red flag number 1, where he starts reaching out to other women when we're fighting. Okay, we're gonna see that pattern later on in the story, but I feel like that's like good contextually to understand the basis. And then this is getting so long, so I'm gonna do a part 2, and we're gonna talk about leaving on missions, being on missions, coming home, getting engaged, and getting married. There's so much, and I'm so sorry to make a part 2 make you wait, but come back for part 2 and we're gonna get into more of the drama.